My son took my $25,000 check for his wedding. Then he said I couldn't come. My name is Margaret Chen. I'm about to tell you what happens when your own child thinks you're too embarrassing to be seen. My boy Danny needed money for his big fancy wedding at a beach resort. So I gave him the money. $25,000. I wrote on the check, for Danny's special day. 3 weeks later, I asked him about my invitation. Danny said, "Mom, it's hard to explain. You just won't fit in with Lisa's family." Won't fit in. The cleaning lady mother doesn't match their rich family picture. So I did something simple. I locked every bank card that had his name on it. Then I bought myself an expensive first-class plane ticket to his wedding. You see, Danny doesn't know something important. That embarrassing cleaning lady mother. I own the cleaning company that cleans half the fancy hotels in Miami, including the exact beach resort where he wanted to get married. And if you're liking this story about perfect revenge, click that subscribe button for Granny's voice. Tell me where you're watching from because our family is getting bigger every day. What happened when I showed up at my son's wedding taught me that sometimes the best gift you can give your child is teaching them about consequences. Let me tell you about Danny Chen. Best student at Lincoln High School. Got his business degree from University of Miami. Works at a big bank downtown making lots of money. None of that happened by luck. When Danny was 11, his father Robert left us. Just walked out the door one morning. Never sent money. Never called. The bills kept coming. I worked every day and every night to keep food on our table. Chen's cleaning service. Just me and my bucket back then. Danny needed a good school. So I paid for private school. $30,000 every year. Rich kids there, I thought, would help him make important friends later. I ate cheap noodles for lunch so Danny could eat hot food in the school cafeteria. Every time teachers wanted to meet, I showed up in my cleaning clothes. My hands were rough and red. My shoes were old work shoes. The other parents wore nice suits and talked about their vacation houses. I talked about Danny's good grades. Danny felt bad. I could see it in his face when other kids asked what his mom did for work. She works in an office, he would say quietly. Close to the truth but safer somehow. I didn't care. Being proud was something I couldn't worry about. Saturday mornings I took Danny to my cleaning jobs. I taught him to respect hard work. These hands bought your future, I told him. I showed him how to clean windows right. How to organize supplies. How to make a room shine. He stopped coming when he turned 15. Said he had homework. Or wanted to hang out with friends. Understood. Young people need their space. University of Miami said yes to Danny. They gave him some money. I paid for the rest. $50,000 every year for 4 years. Then the business degree program. Another $80,000. Every payment came from Chen's cleaning service money. Danny finished school with special honors. I was so happy. I took a picture of his graduation paper and kept it in my purse. Still there today. The edges are worn because I show it to my clients. My son, the university graduate, I say. Their faces smile big. Nobody thinks a cleaning lady's kid goes to a fancy university. 4 years ago, Danny met Lisa Bradford at a work party. Her family owns Bradford Hotels. They've had hotels since the 1920s. Very old money. Real very old money. Danny started visiting less. Phone calls got shorter. When he did visit my small apartment in Little Havana, he looked around like he was seeing it for the first time. The furniture I bought from the thrift store when he was in high school suddenly looked ugly to him. Last Christmas, Danny brought Lisa home. Nice girl, really. She studied art at a college in New York. She asked real questions about my work. Seemed interested when I explained how to clean big buildings. But Danny kept changing the subject away from my job. When Lisa asked about the Chen's cleaning service van parked outside, Danny said I managed building services. Close to true, I guess. That night after they left, I found a business card on my kitchen table. Chen's Building Management. Danny made it himself. Changed my job title from cleaning lady to building manager. I should have said something then. Instead, I kept writing checks. When Danny said he wanted to propose, I said I would pay for the ring. When he said Lisa's family wanted a certain kind of wedding, I said I would help with money. How much money do you need? I asked. 25,000 should be enough, he said. Maybe 30,000. I wrote the check the next day. $25,000. I wrote on it Danny's wedding money. He put it in his bank that same afternoon. The save-the-date cards came in the mail in March. Danny brought mine to my apartment himself. May 20th. Bradford Beach Resort in Key West. Drinks at 4 o'clock. Wedding at 5 o'clock. Party after dark. Nice dress required, he said. But Mom, about that. I'll buy a nice dress, I said quickly. Don't worry. Actually, Danny said, looking uncomfortable. Maybe we should talk about that later. I should have known right then. But you always want to believe good things about your kids. The wedding invitation never came in the mail. First, I thought the post office lost it. Danny had my address. Same apartment where he grew up. Same mailbox where I put his university acceptance letter 4 years ago. I waited 3 weeks. Nothing came. I called Danny's apartment in the city. No answer. I sent him a text message. Haven't got the wedding invitation yet. Should it come soon? His answer came 8 hours later. Still working out details with a hotel. We'll send it soon. Another week went by. I drove to Lisa's art gallery in Miami Beach where she works some days. Maybe she could tell me when invitations were coming. Mrs. Chen, she said, looking really happy to see me. How exciting about the wedding. Only 4 weeks away. Yes, I said carefully. About that. I haven't gotten my invitation in the mail yet. Her face changed. First confused, then something like worry. Oh, she said. Danny told me you might not be able to come. Work is too busy. Work too busy in May. The slowest month for cleaning companies. No, I said. Cleared my whole schedule. Wouldn't miss it for anything. Lisa looked really upset. There might be some mix-up. Let me talk to Danny tonight. I drove home thinking about what exactly Danny told her. That night my phone rang. Annie. Mom, about the wedding. I'm confused, I said. Lisa thinks I'm not coming. Long pause. Look, it's complicated. The Bradfords have very specific ideas about the guest list. It's going to be small and intimate. How small? 300 people. 300 people. But no room for the mother of the groom. Danny, I said, keeping my voice calm. I paid for this wedding. I know, and thank you for that. But Mom, you have to understand these people. They're different. They have expectations. What kind of expectations? Another pause. The kind where everyone fits a certain picture. Picture. 26 years of hard work, and I didn't fit their picture. What did you tell them about me? Just that you work in building management. Which is true. What else? Nothing specific. Mom, look, maybe it's better this way. You'd probably be bored anyway. All they talk about is hotels and art and trips to Europe. Bored. At my own son's wedding. Danny, I want to be there when you get married. No. And I want you there too. But the situation is complicated. Lisa's parents are old-fashioned about these things. Old-fashioned. Like having a cleaning lady at their daughter's wedding might embarrass them. How old-fashioned? They check everyone's background, Mom. Everyone who works there, everyone who will be in photos. It's not personal. Background checks on the mother of the groom. What did they find? Chen's cleaning service. Started in 1997. Home and business cleaning. They weren't happy. I sat in my kitchen looking at Danny's graduation certificate in its frame on my counter. Next to it, my business license for Chen's cleaning service. Both earned through years and years of work. So I'm not invited to your wedding because I'm a cleaning lady. It's not that simple. Sounds exactly that simple. Mom, please try to understand. This wedding could open doors for me. Mr. Bradford has connections all over Miami. Mrs. Bradford is on important boards. If I do this right, it could help my whole career. Career built on pretending his mother doesn't exist. What happens after the wedding? I asked. Family dinners. Holidays. Do I just disappear? We'll figure it out. Maybe we say you retired. That you sold the business. Sold the business. The business that paid for his university education. Danny, I said. I need to think about this. Mom, please don't make this harder than it already is. Harder for him. I hung up the phone and sat in my kitchen for a long time. On my refrigerator, photos of Danny through the years. First day of school. High school graduation. University graduation ceremony. In every photo I'm smiling. Proud mother watching her son do well. In none of them am I embarrassed to be there. That night I made 2 phone calls. First to my bank. How much money is in every account with Danny's name on it? Second to American Airlines. First-class ticket to Miami connecting to Key West. May 20th. Getting there at 3 o'clock. 1 hour before the party starts. Danny called the next morning. Mom, I've been thinking about yesterday's conversation. I've been thinking too, I said. About $25,000. Silence. What about it? I'm wondering if the Bradfords know who paid for their daughter's wedding. Mom, do they know? That's not important. I think it's very important. I think it's the most important thing in this whole conversation. I could hear Danny breathing. When he spoke again, his voice sounded different. Harder. Look, I didn't ask you to pay for the wedding. You offered. I offered because I'm your mother. Because I wanted to celebrate your marriage. And I appreciate that. But that doesn't give you the right to embarrass me. Embarrass him. Those words hurt like a punch. How would I embarrass you? Mom, come on. Be honest. You show up to a Key West beach wedding with cleaning supplies in your purse, talking about mops and bleach. These people invest in hotels and donate to museums. They don't want to hear about your latest cleaning job. 26 years of keeping quiet suddenly became crystal clear. Tell me something, Danny. What? When you filled out papers for university money, what did you write for your mother's job? What? Your mother's job on the forms. Long pause. Cleaning service owner. And when you got your business degree, same question. Mom, what's your point? My point is that job title was good enough to get you scholarship money. Good enough to get you loans. Good enough to pay your school bills. But it's not good enough to come to your wedding. It's not about good enough. It's about fitting in. Fitting in. Social fitting in. Cultural fitting in. These people have expectations. You mean class expectations. If you want to say it that way, yes. At least he was being honest now. Danny, do you know what I do for a living? Mom, we've talked about this. Do you know what I actually do? You're a cleaning lady. I'm a licensed cleaning service owner. Commercial contractor. I design cleaning systems for hotels, restaurants, hospitals. I solve problems that regular cleaners can't fix. I employ 20 people full-time. But do you know how much money I make? That's not relevant. $320,000 last year before taxes. Silence. Do you know what I own? Mom, why are you doing this? 4 apartment buildings in Little Havana. All paid off. Investment accounts worth $2.1 million. Cash savings that could buy Lisa's wedding ring 15 times over. Danny's breathing changed again. But none of that matters, I continued. 'Cause my hands smell like cleaning products at work. It's not about your hands. Then what's it about? It's about how things look. About image. About first impressions. Whose image? The Bradfords. Their friends. The wedding photographer. Everyone who will be there. Everyone except your mother. Mom, please. You're making this about something it's not. What is it about, Danny? It's about respect. The word hung there like a challenge. Respect, I repeated. Respecting the Bradfords' expectations. Respecting Lisa's family traditions. Respecting how important this event is. What about respecting the woman who raised you? I do respect you. That's why I'm trying to protect you from an uncomfortable situation. Protect me from being uncomfortable at my son's wedding. Danny, I said, I have a question for you. What? When you were 9 years old and Tommy Rodriguez called you the cleaning lady's kid at school, what did I tell you? Long pause. I don't remember. I told you that a person's worth isn't about their job title. It's about how good they are at their job, how they treat other people, and how they take care of their family. Mom, I told you that every honest job has dignity. That the woman who cleans what's dirty deserves the same respect as the woman who wears fancy suits to work. Times change, Mom. Do they? Or do people just forget who they used to be? What's that supposed to mean? It means I remember an 11-year-old boy who wanted to learn how to clean windows properly, who asked me to teach him about cleaning products, who said he wanted to work hard like his mom. I was 11. Kids say lots of things. They do. But this 11-year-old also made me a Mother's Day card that said, "Thank you for teaching me that hard work matters most." Silence. I still have that card, Danny. It's in my desk drawer next to your university acceptance letter and the receipt for your first tuition payment. Mom, I was a kid. I didn't understand how the world works. How does the world work, Danny? It works on connections. It works. Social image. How things look matters. How things look matters more than who people are. Character doesn't get you invited to the right parties. And parties matter more than family. Family matters. But family can also hold you back. Hold you back from what? From people who would judge you by your mother's job instead of who you are. Danny, I said, I want you to think about something. What? Who's going to walk you down the aisle at the wedding? What do you mean? Who gives the mother of the groom speech? Who sits in the front row during the ceremony? Long pause. Lisa's mother will handle the speeches. And the front row will figure it out. We'll figure it out. Like I was a problem to solve. See, I said. Mom, please don't be like this. Like what? Difficult. Emotional. I need you to understand. I understand perfectly, Danny. I understand that you're ashamed of me. That's not what I understand, that my $25,000 is welcome but my presence isn't. Mom, I understand that I was good enough to raise you but not good enough to watch you get married. Please don't make this about that. What should I make it about? Make it about wanting what's best for me. What's best for him? A son who pretends his mother doesn't exist for social reasons. I thought I knew what was best for you, Danny. Turns out I was wrong. Hung up. That afternoon I drove to my office. Chen's cleaning service works out of a small building in Little Havana. Nothing fancy. Tile floors. Metal shelves. Bright lights. My desk sits in a corner office with windows looking out at the work area. I keep my important papers in a locked safe behind my desk. Business licenses. Property papers. Insurance papers. The paperwork that tells the real story of Chen's cleaning service. I pulled out the contract folder. 3 inches thick. Organized by client and date. Every major job from the past 5 years. Fontainebleau Miami Beach Hotel. Chen's cleaning service redesigned their whole cleaning program. $340,000 contract. The Ritz-Carlton South Beach. Emergency deep cleaning of their ballroom during busy season. $95,000. Completed in 36 hours. The Mandarin Oriental Miami. Complete renovation cleaning of their spa area. $400,000. Page after page of luxury hotels, expensive restaurants, exclusive resorts. Chen's cleaning service had worked on most of them, including several properties owned by the Bradford family. I found that folder near the back. Bradford Enterprises. 5 separate contracts over 4 years. The main hotel building. Emergency mold cleaning in the air conditioning system. Fixed it in 3 days. The restaurant expansion. Designed and managed the deep cleaning for their new commercial kitchen. Top-of-the-line system. All eco-friendly products. The conference center. 8 luxury meeting rooms for business events. Special floor treatments. Window systems. Air quality management. And the newest project. The beach pavilion. Mr. Bradford had it built 3 years ago for private events. Wedding ceremonies. Company parties. Anniversary celebrations. The building itself was simple. Glass walls. Whitewood frame. Opening roof. But keeping it clean was complex. Salt air damage. Sand management. Water stain prevention. Special window treatments. The cleaning contract alone was $62,000. Chen's cleaning service designed every cleaning system. Trained every worker. Tested every method. Danny was getting married in a building I maintained. I pulled out my phone and looked through photos from that job. The pavilion during setup. Cleaning equipment visible. Systems being tested. My crew working in Chen's cleaning service uniforms. There was one photo I really liked. Me and my supervisor Rosa checking cleaning schedules. The half-finished pavilion in the background. We're both wearing our company shirts. Safety gear. Work gloves. Professional contractors solving difficult problems. Called my money advisor. Margaret, good to hear from you. How's the cleaning business? Making money, I said. Listen, I need current values on everything I own. Everything. The apartment buildings. Investment accounts. Business value. Everything. And I need it by tomorrow. Can I ask why? Family meeting. She laughed. Kids finally want to know how much they'll inherit. Something like that. An hour later I called my insurance person. Margaret, what can I do for you? I need papers on my liability coverage. Every policy. Every property. Every vehicle. Or any particular reason. Want to make sure everything's properly documented. Course. I'll send it by email. Perfect. Third call. My lawyer. Margaret Chin. Haven't heard from you in months. Everything okay? Fine. I need copies of all my business licenses. Contractor certifications. Permits. Health department approvals. That's quite a file. What's the occasion? Just want everything organized. I'll have someone put it together. Give me 24 hours. Last call. My accountant. Margaret. Tax time isn't for months. What's up? I need my last 3 years of tax returns. Business and personal. Complete copies. Any particular sections you're interested in. Income reports. Property values. Proof of earnings. Can I ask what this is for? Due diligence. She laughed. Buying another property. We'll see. By 5 o'clock I had a complete picture of Chen's cleaning services financial position. Business value worth $580,000. Annual income averaging $850,000. Net profit consistently above 35%. Add the real estate investment accounts and cash savings. Total worth just over $3.4 million. Not bad for someone who just cleans buildings. I spent the evening organizing everything into a professional folder. Business overview. Financial reports. Client testimonials. Project photos. The kind of papers you'd show to investors or loan officers. Or wedding planners who question your background. My phone buzzed around 8. Text from Danny. Mom, can we talk tomorrow? I think there's been a misunderstanding. I looked at the message for a long time. Misunderstanding. Like this was all a mistake in communication. Type back. No misunderstanding. Everything's very clear. He answered right away. Please don't do anything crazy. Crazy. Like standing up for myself was wild behavior. I'm not doing anything crazy, I replied. I'm doing exactly what I should have done 26 years ago. What's that supposed to mean? It means you're about to learn what respect actually costs. He didn't respond. I finished organizing my papers, put everything in a leather folder, and set it by my front door. Tomorrow I had a wedding to attend. Thursday afternoon I drove to Key West. The Bradford Beach Resort sits on 10 acres of ocean property. Established 1923 according to the sign at the main entrance. White buildings. Perfectly clean grounds. The kind of money that passes down through families. The kind Danny clearly wanted to be part of. I parked at the guest parking and walked to the main lobby. Lisa was supposed to be working there. Checking last-minute wedding details. She looked up when I walked in. Her face got bright immediately. Mrs. Chin, what a wonderful surprise. Are you here for the rehearsal party? Shli, I said. I wanted to talk to you about the wedding. Her face changed slightly. Course. Is everything okay? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Danny tells me I wasn't invited. Lisa's face went through many emotions very quickly. Confusion. Alarm. Then something like shock. Sorry. What? The wedding invitation. I never got one. But that can't be right. Of course you're invited. You're Danny's mother. That's what I thought. Lisa pulled out her phone. fingers moving fast over the screen. Let me call our wedding planner. There must be some mistake. She walked away, speaking in quiet, worried tones. I could hear pieces. Mother of the groom. Never got it. Absolutely unacceptable. When she came back, her face was white. Mrs. Chen, I'm so sorry. There seems to have been a terrible mistake. Let me fix this right now. What kind of mistake? The wedding planner says Danny specifically asked that your invitation be held back. Held back until certain details could be worked out. Waited. I don't understand, Lisa continued. Danny told me you had work commitments, that you might not be able to come. What exactly did he tell you? Lisa hesitated. He said you were very busy with a big commercial project, that you might have to work through the weekend. Did he mention what kind of work I do? Another hesitation. He said you were in building management. Building management. The lie was growing. Lisa, I said gently. Danny and I need to have a conversation. Is he here? He's meeting with my parents about the ceremony schedule. They're in the meeting room. Could you show me where that is? Lisa led me through the main building. A restored old hotel with antique furniture and old paintings on the walls. Old money displayed nicely. We stopped outside a big wooden door. Voices inside, including Danny's. Before you go in, Lisa said quietly. I want you to know that I've been looking forward to meeting you properly. Danny talks about you all the time. What does he say? That you raised him alone after his father left. That you worked incredibly hard to give him opportunities. That he owes everything to you. Everything except a wedding invitation. I knocked on the door. Come in, a man's voice called. The meeting room was exactly what you'd expect. High ceiling. Wooden shelves. Leather chairs. Expensive carpet. Danny sat across from two well-dressed people in their 60s. Mr. and Mrs. Bradford. Danny's face went white when he saw me. Mom, what are you doing here? Lisa invited me to discuss the wedding plans. The Bradfords looked confused. Mrs. Bradford spoke first. I'm sorry, we haven't been introduced. I'm Eleanor Bradford, Lisa's mother. I shook her hand. Margaret Chen, Danny's mother. Mr. Bradford stood and put out his hand too. Robert Bradford. Pleasure to meet you, Margaret. We've heard so much about you. Have you? Danny tells us you're in building management. Very successful business from what we understand. I looked at Danny, who was staring at his hands. What exactly has Danny told you about my work? Mrs. Bradford answered. That you manage large cleaning operations throughout South Florida. Impressive background. Danny says you've worked on some major commercial properties. Danny, I said, still looking at him. Why don't you tell the Bradfords specifically what kind of operations I manage? Danny's mouth got tight. Mom, maybe we should talk about this later. I think now is perfect. Mr. and Mrs. Bradford are interested in my work. I'd hate to disappoint them. Mr. Bradford leaned forward. We're always fascinated by facility management. Such a complex field. What's your specialty, Margaret? Cleaning. Silence. I'm sorry, Mrs. Bradford said. Cleaning. I'm a cleaning service owner. I own Chen's cleaning service. The temperature in the room dropped. Danny, Mr. Bradford said slowly. I thought you said your mother was in building management. She is, Danny said quickly. Cleaning is part of building management. Is it, I asked. Or is it just cleaning? Mrs. Bradford and Mr. Bradford looked at each other. The kind of look that said they were quickly rethinking something. Well, Mrs. Bradford said carefully. Cleaning is certainly important work. Important, I repeated. Is that how Danny described it? More silence. Margaret, Mr. Bradford said. We appreciate all the hard work you've done to support Danny's education and career. Lisa tells us you've been very generous with the wedding costs. $25,000, I said. Though I understand I'm not invited to see how it's spent. Lisa gasped. What? Danny stood up fast. Mom, please. Please what? Please keep pretending I don't exist. Please stay quiet while you lie to your future in-laws about who I am. Margaret, Mrs. Bradford said carefully. I think there's been some confusion. Of course you're invited to the wedding. Shli, I said. Danny specifically told me I wasn't invited because I don't fit the right picture. Mr. Bradford's eyebrows went up. Picture. Danny. Lisa said, her voice getting louder. Is this true? Danny looked trapped. It's not that simple. Seems very simple, I said. Your son is embarrassed that his mother is a cleaning lady. He thinks my being at your daughter's wedding would somehow look bad for him. Mrs. Bradford and Mr. Bradford were staring at Danny now. Danny, Mrs. Bradford said quietly. Is this accurate? I just thought with all your friends coming. And the photographers. And the magazine coverage. Magazine coverage, I asked. Coastal Living is doing a feature on beach weddings, Lisa said quietly. They're photographing our ceremony. And Danny didn't want a cleaning lady in those photos. Mr. Bradford stood up. Danny, I think you and I need to have a private conversation. Mr. Bradford, you have to understand. I understand perfectly, Mr. Bradford said. His voice very cold. You lied to us about your mother's job. And then you left her out of your wedding because you're ashamed of honest work. It's not about being ashamed. Then what is it about? Lisa demanded. Danny looked around the room like he was trapped. It's about fitting in. About belonging. About not having to explain or defend or apologize for. For what, I asked? For being the cleaning lady's kid. The words hung in the air like an accusation. Mrs. Bradford stood up slowly. Danny, I think you should leave. Mrs. Bradford. Lisa said quietly. Just leave. Danny started toward the door. Then stopped and turned back to me. Mom, you don't understand what you've just done. I understand perfectly, I said. I've just told the truth. After Danny left, the four of us sat in uncomfortable silence. Finally, Mr. Bradford spoke. Margaret, I owe you an apology. We had no idea Danny was lying about your profession. Or leaving you out of the wedding. It's not your fault. Nevertheless, this is completely unacceptable. Mrs. Bradford looked at Lisa. We're canceling the rehearsal party. This wedding is postponed until we can sort this out properly. Daddy, no, Lisa said. Tears in her eyes. It's not just about Danny lying. It's about what he said. About being the cleaning lady's kid. Like it's something shameful. He turned to me. Mrs. Chen, I'm so sorry. If I had known. You have nothing to apologize for, Lisa. Yes, I do. I should have asked more questions. I should have insisted on meeting you properly months ago. Mrs. Bradford nodded. We all should have. Margaret, would you join us for dinner tonight? We'd like to hear about your work. Life. Your son. The real story. I looked around the meeting room at the family that had welcomed Danny with open arms. And that he had paid back with lies. I'd be honored, I said. Dinner at the Bradford house was eye-opening. Mrs. Bradford had made grilled fish with fresh vegetables from a local farm. Mr. Bradford opened a special wine from California. Their best year. The dining room looked out at the ocean. Sunset making the water look gold. Civilized people having a civilized conversation. Margaret, Mr. Bradford said, passing the wine. Tell us about Chen's cleaning service. How long have you been in business? 58 years. Started in my apartment with a used vacuum and cleaning supplies my aunt gave me. Self-made, Mrs. Bradford said. That's admirable. Hard work and good timing, I said. Commercial cleaning was growing in the 90s. Focused on luxury places. Hotels. Restaurants. Resorts. Mr. Bradford's interest got sharper. Resorts. Quite a few. Complex cleaning systems. Beach management. Salt air damage prevention. Mold control. Most hotel owners don't realize how much work goes into keeping a beach resort clean. Have you worked on any properties we might know? Smiled. Actually, I've worked on several Bradford properties. Both Mr. Bradford and Mrs. Bradford sat up straighter. When? The main hotel building 4 years ago. Mold in your air conditioning system. The restaurant expansion 3 years ago. And most recently the beach pavilion where Lisa was planning to get married. Silence. You maintain our wedding venue, Lisa asked. Designed and manage all the cleaning systems. Windows. Floors. The special treatments for salt air damage. $62,000 contract. Mr. Bradford put down his wine glass. Margaret, are you telling me that Danny is getting married in a building you maintain? Was getting married, I corrected. Yes. Mrs. Bradford started laughing. Not mean laughter. Real amusement at the irony. Oh my goodness, she said. Danny left his mother out of a wedding happening in a building his mother takes care of. Life has a sense of humor. Agreed. Mr. Bradford was shaking his head. Margaret, I have to ask. When you worked on our properties, did you ever mention that your son was dating our daughter? Danny asked me not to. Said he wanted to keep family and business separate. More lies, Lisa said bitterly. Mr. Bradford leaned back in his chair. Margaret, forgive me for being direct. But what's your annual income? Robert, Mrs. Bradford warned. It's relevant, he said. Danny clearly has some wrong ideas about money and status. Pulled out my folder. The same one I'd prepared the night before. Last year Chen's cleaning service made $850,000. Net profit was $320,000. I slid the financial papers across the table. These are my tax returns for the past 3 years. Income, property, investments. Mr. Bradford looked at the papers. His eyebrows going up. 3.4 million net worth approximately. Mrs. Bradford leaned over to look. Margaret, you're quite successful. I've been fortunate. Good clients. Steady work. Smart investments. Does Danny know about your financial situation? He knows I own apartment buildings. He doesn't know everything. Mr. Bradford kept reading. Margaret, according to this, you made more than most bank executives last year. Different kinds of work. Same green money. Lisa was staring at the papers. Danny said you struggled financially. That you could barely afford his university costs. I could afford it. I chose to live simply so Danny would understand the value of money. Apparently he learned the wrong lesson, Mrs. Bradford said dryly. Mr. Bradford was looking at another paper. What's this? Bradford Enterprises contract history. Every job Chen's cleaning service has done for your family. 5 contracts over 4 years. Total of $172,000. You keep detailed records. Commercial clients expect documentation. Permits, inspections, warranty information. I pulled out another folder. These are photos from your projects. The pictures showed Chen's cleaning service crews at work. Professional, organized, efficient. My workers wearing company uniforms. Following safety rules. Using good equipment. This is during the pavilion setup, I said. Pointing to one photo. That's me reviewing the maintenance schedule with my supervisor. In the photo I'm wearing a Chen's cleaning service shirt. Safety gear. Work gloves. Professional contractor solving difficult problems. Mr. Bradford studied the picture. You know, Danny told us his mother was too busy to be involved in wedding planning. Looking at these photos, I can see why you're busy. I cleared my schedule for his wedding. Turned down 3 jobs. Mrs. Bradford winced. How much lost money? $42,000 roughly. Margaret, Mr. Bradford said slowly. I'm beginning to understand why you're upset. I'm not upset, I said. I'm disappointed. Lisa had been quiet, looking at the financial papers. Finally she spoke. Mrs. Chen, can I ask you something personal? Course. When Danny was growing up, did you ever make him feel ashamed of your work? Never. I taught him that honest work has dignity. That cleaning buildings with your hands is as valuable as working in an office with computers. Then where did this attitude come from? Thought about that. Private school maybe. Being around kids whose mothers wore business suits to work. Danny got teased sometimes for being the cleaning lady's kid. So he kept that shame inside, Mrs. Bradford observed. Apparently. Mr. Bradford was still looking at my business folder. Margaret, this is impressive documentation. Why did you bring all this tonight? Danny questioned my background. Whether I fit your family's standards. I wanted you to see the actual background. Cleaning service owner. Successful businesswoman. Self-made millionaire. Mr. Bradford summarized. I think you meet our standards. The irony, Mrs. Bradford added, is that we prefer self-made success to inherited wealth. More character involved. Lisa looked up from the tax returns. Mrs. Chen, Danny told me you lived paycheck to paycheck. That his education was a financial burden. It was a sacrifice, not a burden. I chose to save money for his future rather than spend it on fancy things for myself. While he thought you were poor, I thought humility would teach him values. Instead it taught him to be ashamed, Mrs. Bradford said. Mr. Bradford finished looking at the papers and passed them back to me. Margaret, I have a confession. What's that? When Danny first started dating Lisa, I had him checked out. Mrs. Bradford rolled her eyes. Robert's hobby. Background checks on potential sons-in-law. Mr. Bradford continued. Standard procedure. What did you find? University degree. Bank job. Clean credit history. Mother listed as owner of Chen's cleaning service. South Florida contractor. Solid, respectable business. And I was impressed. Self-made mother. Well-educated son. Good family story. Did you tell Danny about the investigation? He specifically asked me not to contact you directly. Said you were very private about business matters. More lies from Danny, isolating me from the people who might have seen through his deception. Margaret, Mrs. Bradford said. There's something else you should know. What? Robert and I looked up Chen's cleaning service online after Danny mentioned your work. We read the customer reviews. Looked at your project photos. And we were planning to hire you for our hotel renovation before we knew about the family connection. I started laughing despite everything. What's funny? Lisa asked. Danny spent months lying about my work to impress you. Meanwhile you were planning to hire me. Mr. Bradford raised his wine glass. To Margaret Chen. Cleaning service owner. Successful businesswoman. And the kind of mother any man would be proud to have. We drank to that. Even though my son clearly disagreed. Friday morning I checked into the Ocean Key Resort. Room 419 facing the water. $850 a night. But sometimes you need to make a statement. I ordered room service breakfast and called my bank. First Coastal Bank. This is Jennifer. Jennifer, this is Margaret Chen. Count number 55398721. Good morning, Mrs. Chen. How can I help you? I need to freeze all authorized user access on my accounts. Effective immediately. All authorized users. Danny Chen. Remove his access to checking, savings, and both credit cards. May I ask the reason for this action? Family emergency. Danny needs to learn financial responsibility. Understand. This will take effect within 1 hour. Is there anything else? I need records of all transactions Danny has made in the past 6 months, especially large purchases. I can email that within 2 hours. Perfect. Next call. Visa Card Services. This is Margaret Chen. Account 37418562935. I need to cancel the additional card for Danny Chen. Certainly, Mrs. Chen. May I ask the reason? The authorized user is no longer authorized. Effective immediately. Effective immediately. Third call. MasterCard. Same conversation. Same result. By 11 o'clock Danny had no access to any account with my name on it. My phone rang at 11:38. Mom, what the heck is going on? My cards aren't working. Which cards? All of them. I'm trying to pay for the rehearsal lunch and every card is declined. Interesting. Mom, this isn't funny. This isn't. I'm standing in front of 60 people and I can't pay the bill. Did you call your bank? They said you froze my access to all accounts. That's correct. Why would you do that? You said you wanted to keep family and business separate. I'm helping you achieve that goal. Mom, please. We can work this out after the wedding. There won't be an after the wedding, Danny. Lisa postponed it. Silence. What? She postponed the wedding indefinitely. Well, no, that's not possible. Everything's arranged. The catering. The flowers. The photographer. The venue is still available. I maintain it. Remember. Mom, you don't understand. I can't cancel this. The Bradfords have invited everyone they know. Coastal Living is covering it. This could ruin my career. Your career. Still worried about your career. Course I'm worried about my career. That's what this is all about. What about your character, Danny? My what? Your character. The thing that matters more than your career. Mom, I don't have time for philosophy. I need money. The vendors want payment today. How much money? 18,000 for catering. 9,000 for flowers. 14,000 for the band. 41,000 total. And I can't access any of my accounts. Why don't you ask Mr. Bradford to lend it to you? Can't do that. Why not? You're marrying his daughter. Surely he'd help out his future son-in-law. Mom, please. I'm begging you. You're begging me. The mother you didn't invite to your wedding. The cleaning lady who embarrasses you. I never said you embarrassed me. You said I didn't fit the picture. You said I'd bore people with stories about mops and cleaning products. Silence. Danny, I'm at the Ocean Key Resort. Room 419. Why don't you come by? We need to talk. You're here in Key West. Flew first class this morning. Delta Flight 842. Seat 1B. But the wedding's off. Is it? I thought maybe I'd attend anyway. See how my $25,000 was spent. Mom, you can't. Lisa's family will be here. And the press. And you'll be embarrassed to have your mother present. That's not what I meant. That's exactly what you meant. Hung up. An hour later, Danny knocked on my door. He looked terrible. Wrinkled shirt. No tie. Hair messy. The polished bank employee had been replaced by a panicked kid who couldn't pay his bills. Mom, thank you for seeing me. Come in, Danny. He sat on the couch. Head in his hands. This is a disaster. Everything's falling apart. Tell me about it. Lisa won't talk to me. Her parents think I'm a liar. The wedding vendors want payment I can't give. And somehow this is all supposed to be my fault. Whose fault is it? I don't know. I was trying to do the right thing. What's the right thing, Danny? Protecting everyone from an uncomfortable situation. Who was uncomfortable? Everyone would have been uncomfortable, including me. Especially you, Mom. These people are different. They talk about art and wine and trips to Europe. You would have felt out of place. Let me understand this. You left me out of your wedding to protect my feelings. Partly, yes. What was the other part? Long pause. I didn't want them to judge me based on what you do for a living. What I do for a living? Yes, Danny. What do I do for a living? You're a cleaning lady. What else? I don't understand. What else do I do? You clean buildings. What else? Mom, what are you getting at? I pulled out my business folder and set it on the coffee table. Open it. Danny opened the folder. His face went through many changes as he read. 3.4 million net worth. You're a millionaire. Several times over. But you live in that small apartment. You drive a 15-year-old van. You wear work clothes everywhere. I live below my means so you could live above yours. Danny stared at the financial papers. Why didn't you tell me? I wanted you to develop work ethic. To understand that money has to be earned. But we could have. What? Bought respect. Purchased acceptance. We could have fit in. Danny, I already fit in. I'm a successful contractor who maintains half the luxury resorts in South Florida, including the venue where you plan to get married. You maintain the Bradford Pavilion. Designed and manage every cleaning system. The Bradfords know my work better than you do. Danny closed the folder. So this whole time you could have impressed them. I didn't need to impress them, Danny. My work had already done that. He sat back looking stunned. I've ruined everything, haven't I? What do you think? Danny left my hotel room around 3 o'clock. He'd spent 2 hours going between apologies and excuses. Sorry for lying, but the Bradfords had high standards. Sorry for leaving me out, but he thought it was better for everyone. Sorry for calling me embarrassing, but couldn't I understand the pressure he was under? Well, I couldn't understand the pressure of being ashamed of your mother. At 4:30 I got a call from Lisa. Mrs. Chen, it's Lisa Bradford. Could I possibly speak with you? Course. Where are you? Downstairs in the lobby. I know it's rude to just show up, but I was hoping we could talk. I'll be right down. I found Lisa in the lobby lounge. still wearing her rehearsal dress from yesterday. She looked like she hadn't slept. Lisa, how are you holding up? Not well, she admitted. Everything's such a mess. We sat in a quiet corner. Lisa ordered coffee. Kati. Mrs. Chen, I need to ask you something. Go ahead. Danny came to see me after he left your room. He told me about your financial situation. What about it? He said you're quite wealthy. That you've been wealthy all along. That's correct. And he never knew. I never told him everything. Lisa shook her head. I don't understand. Why would you hide your success from your own son? I thought humility would teach him character. Instead it taught him to be ashamed. Apparently. Lisa sipped her coffee, thinking, Mrs. Chen, can I tell you something about my family? Please. We're not old money. Not really. My great-grandfather was a boat captain who saved enough to buy a small hotel during the war. My grandfather expanded it to 3 hotels. My father built it into what it is today. Self-made success then. Exactly. 3 generations of hard work. My parents respect that more than anything else. Even when it involves getting your hands dirty. Especially then. My father still cleans the pool sometimes during busy season. My mother manages the business side, but she started by changing sheets and washing dishes. I thought about Danny's wrong ideas about the Bradfords' attitudes toward working-class jobs. Lisa, did your parents ever say anything negative about my profession? The opposite. When they found out you were a cleaning lady, my father said he respected people who solved real problems with their hands. Danny told me they'd be horrified. Danny told us you were in building management. When we learned the truth, we were impressed that you'd built a successful business from nothing. Another wrong idea on Danny's part. Lisa, what's going to happen with the wedding? Her face looked sad. I don't know. Yesterday I thought I was marrying someone I understood. Now I feel like I don't know Danny at all. What's changed? Everything. The lying obviously. But more than that. The values. Danny thinks success means hiding where you came from. In my family, success means honoring where you came from. Those are very different ideas. And I'm wondering if we're compatible at all. She pulled out her phone and showed me a text message from Danny. Lisa, please call me. I can explain everything. This is all a misunderstanding. What do you think? She asked. I think Danny believes his own version of events. He's convinced himself that he was protecting everyone from embarrassment. Was he protecting everyone or was he protecting himself? What do you think? Lisa put her phone away. I think he was protecting an image of himself that required pretending his mother didn't exist. We sat in silence for a moment. Mrs. Chen, can I ask you something else? Course. Are you proud of Danny? The question surprised me. I said finally. University degree. Good job. Seemed to have his life together. And now I'm wondering where I went wrong. You didn't go wrong. You gave him every opportunity to succeed. I also gave him every reason to be ashamed of where those opportunities came from. Lisa shook her head. That's not on you. That's on him. My phone buzzed. Text from Danny. Mom, I'm at the wedding venue. The caterers are here. Please call me. I showed the message to Lisa. He's still trying to save the wedding, she said. Are you? I don't know. Yesterday I was excited to marry Danny Chen. University graduate with a bright future. Today I'm not sure I want to marry Danny Chen. The man who's ashamed of his mother. Those might be the same person. That's what scares me. At 5 o'clock my phone rang. Annie. Mom, please. The caterers are setting up. The flowers are here. And I can't pay anyone. Where's Lisa? She won't answer my calls. Maybe that should tell you something. Mom, I know I messed up. But this can still be fixed. If you just restore my account access. Danny, the money isn't the problem. Then what is? The problem is that you're still focused on saving the wedding instead of understanding why it fell apart. I understand I made mistakes. But we can work through this after. There might not be an after, Danny. What do you mean? I mean Lisa is reconsidering everything. Not just the wedding. The entire relationship. Silence. She can't do that. She can do whatever she wants. It's her choice. Mom, please talk to her. Explain that I was just trying to do the right thing. What was the right thing, Danny? Making sure everyone was comfortable. Everyone except your mother. I never meant to hurt you. But you did hurt me. And more importantly, you hurt yourself. How did I hurt myself? You missed the chance to have a mother at your wedding. You gave up the opportunity to introduce me to people who might have respected what I've accomplished. You chose shame over pride. Image over authenticity. Can fix this. Can you? Oh. Long pause. I don't know. Danny, I'm going to give you some advice. Stop trying to fix the wedding. Start trying to fix yourself. What's that supposed to mean? It means figure out whether you're proud of where you came from. Or whether you're going to spend your life running from it. And if I choose wrong, then you'll end up alone in a room full of people who don't really know you. Hung up. Later that evening, Lisa called again. Mrs. Chen, I wanted to let you know I've decided to call off the wedding permanently. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not. I think it's the right decision. What will you do now? I think I'll take some time to figure out what I really want in a partner. Someone who's proud of where they came from might be a good start. That sounds wise. Mrs. Chen. Yes. Thank you. For what? For showing me who Danny really is before I married him. Saturday morning I checked out of the Ocean Key Resort and drove home to Miami. My phone had 23 missed calls from Danny. I didn't return them. Monday I went back to work. Chen's cleaning service had 4 jobs scheduled that week. A restaurant deep clean, hotel expansion, and 2 residential projects. Normal problems. Normal solutions. Felt good to work with my hands again. Tuesday afternoon Danny showed up at my office. Mom, we need to talk. Do we? Please. 5 minutes. I led him to my office and closed the door. The wedding's officially cancelled, he said. Lisa called off the engagement. I heard. The Bradfords want nothing to do with me. Lisa won't answer my calls. And somehow I'm out $25,000 for a wedding that never happened. The vendors still got paid. Lisa's parents covered the costs. They said it wasn't fair to punish the vendors for my mistakes. Generous of them. Mom, I need to know. Are you going to restore my account access? I studied my son. Still focused on the money. Danny, what have you learned from this experience? That lying was a mistake. What else? That I should have been honest about your work. What else? Long pause. I don't know what else you want me to say. I want you to say whether you're proud of your mother. Course I'm proud of you. Are you? Or are you just sorry you got caught lying? Danny looked uncomfortable. Mom, I've always been proud of you. You raised me alone. Put me through university. Built a successful business. But you were ashamed to have me at your wedding. I was scared. Of what? Of being judged. Of not fitting in. Of people thinking less of me because my mother cleans buildings for a living. And now I realize that was stupid. Do you? Or do you realize that my cleaning hands built a $3.4 million net worth? Both, I guess. I leaned back in my chair. Danny, I'm going to restore your account access. But with conditions. What conditions? You're going to work for Chen's cleaning service this summer. Learn the business from the ground up. Understand what it means to solve real problems with your hands. Mom, I have a career. Your career will wait. This won't. Danny thought about it. And if I refuse, then you figure out your financial situation on your own. That's not much of a choice. Son, most choices in life aren't. He stood up. I'll think about it. You do that. After he left, I called Lisa. How are you doing? Better, she said. Sad but better. Any regrets about canceling the wedding? About the time I wasted, a few. Or young. You'll find someone who's proud of where they came from. Hope so. What about Danny? Danny needs to figure out who he wants to be. And if he chooses wrong, then he'll learn that respect can't be bought. 3 weeks later, Danny called me. Mom. Yes, Danny. I've been thinking about your offer. And I'd like to take it. Work for Chen's cleaning service this summer. I'm listening. I realized something. What's that? I spent so much time running from where I came from that I forgot to appreciate it. That's a good start, Danny. I want to learn. Not just about the business, but about what it means to do honest work. When can you start? Monday if that works. Monday works. Danny. Yes, Mom. This doesn't fix everything. No. But it's a start. It's a start. That Monday Danny showed up at Chen's cleaning service wearing old jeans and a t-shirt. Ready to work. I handed him a mop and a bucket. Start with the bathroom, I said. He looked at the mop. Then at me. Then he smiled. Just like old times, he said. Just like old times. Over the next 3 months Danny learned what it really means to work. He cleaned hotel rooms. Scrubbed restaurant kitchens. Maintained resort properties. His hands got rough. His back got sore. His fancy university degree didn't help him clean a toilet any faster. But something changed. He started understanding. The dignity in hard work. The pride in a job well done. The respect earned through honest labor. One day we were cleaning the Bradford Beach Resort together. The same place where his wedding was supposed to happen. We were working in the beach pavilion. The place I maintained. The place where he was supposed to marry Lisa. Danny stopped working and looked around. Mom. Yes. Sorry. No. I'm really sorry. I know, Danny. For everything. For being ashamed. For lying. For thinking I was better than this. He gestured at the cleaning supplies. Better than you. I put down my cleaning cloth. Danny, you're not better than me. And I'm not better than you. We're just people doing our best. But you built something amazing. And I almost threw it all away. Almost. But you didn't. 'Cause I stopped you. Well. 'Cause you taught me. What did I teach you? That respect isn't about what you do. It's about how you do it. That pride isn't about hiding who you are. It's about honoring where you came from. That family matters more than image. Always. Danny picked up his cleaning cloth again. You know what's funny? What? Lisa was right to cancel the wedding. Why? Because I wasn't ready to be anyone's husband. I was too busy being ashamed of being someone's son. We worked in silence for a while. Then Danny spoke again. Do you think I'll ever get a chance to make this right? With Lisa? Maybe. Maybe not. But that's not the point. What is the point? The point is to become the kind of person who deserves that chance. Whether you get it or not. 6 months after the wedding that never happened, Danny was still working at Chen's cleaning service. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to. He'd learned something valuable. That honest work has its own reward. That dignity comes from doing your best. Not from what other people think. One evening we were closing up the office together. Danny turned to me. Mom. Yes. Thank you. For what? For not giving up on me. Even when I gave up on myself. Smiled. That's what mothers do, Danny. Even cleaning lady mothers. Especially cleaning lady mothers. We locked up the office and walked to our cars. The Chen's cleaning service van. And Danny's fancy car. 2 very different vehicles. But heading in the same direction. And as I drove through the Miami streets that night, I thought about everything that had happened. The wedding that never was. The son who learned his lesson. The mother who stood her ground. Sometimes the best gift you can give your child isn't money. It isn't opportunity. It isn't even love. Sometimes the best gift you can give your child is the truth. Even when the truth is hard. Even when it hurts. Even when it costs them everything they thought they wanted. Because in the end, that's the gift that really matters. The gift of knowing who you really are. And being proud of it. This is Margaret Chen, signing off from Granny's Voice. Remember, honest work has dignity. Always.